Welcome to Some Heat Talk. The Miami Heat get a great home opener victory against the New York Knicks, a tough team in the East, one of the better teams in the wide open East this year. They take them on and they beat them 115 to 107. Norman Powell led the way with 29 points, three threes, and he got to the free throw line for 12 free throw attempts. And then Bam Adebayo, amazing last two games. Amazing last two games. Being much more aggressive and snagging those boards, boy. 19 points, 13 rebounds, and he did his job guarding Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, he switched on everybody. He was guarding everybody. He was guarding Brunson at one point, but Cat the majority of the way, and Cat only had 15 points, and he wasn't really a factor this game. In fact, he was in foul trouble for most of the game, sitting on the bench in foul trouble. So that really took off a scoring threat for the Miami Heat in this game. But a great victory. This is a game that the Miami Heat last year probably do not close out. Like, the Miami Heat last year had troubles closing out games. They didn't know how to put together and fully win the game. But they did here. They went into the fourth quarter with an 8-point lead, and they walked out winning by 8 points. You know, during the fourth quarter, they added on to the lead. They were up like 13 to 14 at one point. But then, the Knicks started to climb back. The Heat allowed them back in the game. At one point, it was 5 points and a minute 30 left. But Andrew Wiggins, who has been pretty honestly ineffective on offense and who has been the one outstander in this new faster paced offense the Miami Heat have been running, hit a big three to just put the game on ice and give us that 8-point lead that they were not able to. They would have to shoot their way back into, and the Knicks were not able to do that with a minute 30 left in the game. So Andrew Wiggins, who has been kind of the odd man out in this fast paced offense, but everybody else is succeeding somewhat, you could say, he hit the big shot. But man, this was a good win. This is the Knicks. You can probably say are the best team in the East. The East is wide open. The East is hurt. The East is everything you can say. And the Knicks probably overall going into the season are the best team in the East, unless I'm forgetting somebody. The Knicks, talent wise, overall the best team in the East. And the Miami Heat just beat them at home. And this is a great way to start the season by getting nice wins over good teams. And the Knicks is a good one to start with. They got a win over the Memphis Grizzlies on Saturday. Absolutely smoked them fools. They should have beat the Magic, who are another great team in the East this year. But they had trouble closing that game out to start the season. Yet, they were able to get this one. They were able to close this one out. And honestly, you know what the main difference between the wins and the loss was? That starting five. This game, Coach Spo went out with the Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, where Norman Powell, Davian Mitchell starting five. That's been the starting five for the last two games. In the last two games, the Heat have won. So you can say that Khalil Ware lineup is successful and is undefeated this season so far. But the thing is, Khalil Ware was not that effective as he was in the last game. He was still effective. Opening up opportunities for Bam, using his size as a length to affect shots at the rim, even though he's not the greatest at it. He's not the greatest at boxing out. But those 8 rebounds he can bring, he had 8 rebounds. He had a good 3. He had a clutch 3 in the third quarter, and he did his job. He didn't. I expect more from Khalil Ware, but he did what he had to do to get the Miami Heat the win, to affect the Miami Heat and get the win positively. Now, he didn't do anything that affected the team in a negative way. He could do a better job protecting the rim. He could do a better job boxing out to grab rebounds. But he uses his size and his length as something that's not replaceable with any of the other players on the bench. Jovic, Jaquez, they don't have the size, they don't have the length that he brings when in the starting five. Also, Davian Mitchell had 9 points, which is good, but the main thing is he's facilitating. He's hitting the right people in the right spots, allowing people to get to their spots, hitting people to get the hockey assist. Doesn't matter. He's doing what a point guard can do, and that was the question going into the season. He keeps on proving people wrong game after game by racking up these assists night after night. The other thing I wanted to say, this is going to be a quick recap because the Dolphins had me everywhere, the NFL had me everywhere. There's a lot of things to keep up with, but I made sure to watch the Heat game. But another thing I want to say about this game that has been constantly impressing me this season, and that continued throughout this game, is the bench. I think we got a little mob situation going on. I think we can have a little most outstanding bench 2.0 going on with this Miami Heat team. Jaquez has been really good. Jovic does his thing off the bench. But Fontecchio has been also very, very, very surprising in these first 3 games of the season. And then we got Drew Smith doing his thing as the backup point guard. He only had 6 points. I thought he had more, honestly. I thought Drew Smith had more. He only had 2, 3, 6 points, but he was locking things up, and it seemed like he was doing way more than 6 points. And Jovic, he was slow to start. He had 0 points in the first half, but he hit two. He had 2 threes. No, he only had 1 3, and then he had the and one. But he hit a big three in the third quarter, and he had 6 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. So even if he's not getting the points, that's five. That's 5 assists that lead to points. So and the plus minus for this bench, Fontecchio 14 points. He was up plus 11. Jaime Jaque has been effective, 17 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. It's been great all season. Definitely the most surprising player, him and Fontecchio. But I think I give it to Jaque as be a little more surprising. He's just been attacking the rim like he was his rookie season, and doing what he can do, finishing around the rim. And I feel bad. Those threes, he still can't hit that three ball, but he's close. That thing rimmed in and out twice this game. He's been getting closer and closer. You just can't nail that three ball yet. I don't know what's going on, but as I said, Fontecchio plus 11, Jaquez plus 18, Jovic plus 10, Drew Smith plus 18. That's the bench right there. That's why we won this game. The bench was able to come in and be effective. They didn't come in and let us down. They didn't come in and have us yelling, "Where's Davion Mitchell? Put him in the game already. Where's Bam? Where's Storm and Norman?" Even though no matter what, you're always yelling, "Where's Storm and Norman?" Because he was able to start and finish that game and ended up with 29 points. But those plus minuses for those guys off the bench is incredible. And I'm telling you, going back to those 2016 days, the most outstanding bench 2.0 over here is with this Miami Heat team. And man, just a great victory. Great way to open up at home. As I said in the last video, I want the Miami Heat this season to have that home court record where you are watching ESPN or whatever, or NBC, and they're talking about Miami starting 16-2 at home this season. You don't want to play Miami home. It's gonna be tough to beat them at home. That's what I want. I don't want the other teams to go in Miami and believe they have a shot at winning at home. I want Miami to have that home court domination at home court. That's what it is. Like 2020, 2019, 2020. I remember we started off like 14-0 at home, I believe, or something crazy like that. That's what I want the Miami Heat to do this season. And also, of course, win games most importantly. But I want them to focus on getting these wins at home, because you have 41 games at home and then you have 41 games other places. If you get a good home record, that away record can be about 500. And you'll have a good record. You have a good standing, good spot. But other than that, man, everybody in the Miami Heat that played tonight did their thing, except Kawhi. You could expect more. Also Andrew Wiggins, but he had the timely. He does everything right. He's just not fitting into the more fast-paced offense in this game. From the last two games, the Miami Heat really did have a really, really fast-paced offense. I see this one a little less fast-paced. The Knicks were able to slow them down a little bit, but it was definitely faster than what we were used to from last season. Definitely faster, definitely more improved, and you see it's leading to more points and closer games against really good teams to start the season. But as I said, Kawhi, you expect more. Wiggins could expect more. I mean, he's playing like a damn Haywood Highsmith role kind, and you're paying him like, I saw someone say that he's playing like Haywood Highsmith. You want to play like Haywood Highsmith, but he's getting paid like Jimmy Butler. I forgot who said that. I don't know who said that. And Davion Mitchell, I like him to attack the rim more. I feel like he has opportunities to attack the rim more aggressively, which he does sometimes. And he also missed 3 free throws this game, I believe. No, it was the first 2 free throws he missed. He missed the first 3 of this season. But I like Davion Mitchell to attack the rim. But other than that, I mean, Storm Norman just putting up shots. He is not scared to let that thing fly. And Bam Adebayo was playing more and more aggressive. He was going at Cat, drawing offensive fouls on Cat, then coming down and giving him buckets and making him draw fouls on defense. That's what I'm talking about. Jalen Brunson, though, he was great. He had 37 points. There was a point where he came out the game. He had a little injury, but he ended up coming back in the fourth quarter. He left late in the third, came back early in the fourth. He didn't really miss any time that he would usually not miss. But we were able to survive that 37 points from Jalen Brunson, which is something we would not have survived last season. Jalen Brunson dropping 37 is not something we're doing. We did a good job not fouling him. He only had 4 free throw attempts, and that's something we did a good job. We didn't allow that many free throw attempts to the Knicks. They only allowed 21 free throw attempts, which Jalen Brunson only had 4, and Cat only had 2, which that is really, really good. Other than that, OG Anunoby was annoying like he always is to me. Hit 4 threes. He was only 4-12 though. Mikal Bridges seemed to always have a timely corner three when we were going a little run, and he'll put them, or we'll get ahead, and then they'll put them right back there. Mikal Bridges seemed to be annoying. But other than that, man, great win from the Miami Heat. They were able to keep it close, pull away towards the end of the third, and keep it away in the fourth quarter, despite a little slight heart attack with 2 minutes left in the fourth. The Miami Heat get a great win against the New York Knicks to open their home. To open it up at home, first home game of the season. Great win, 115-107. We faced the Hornets on Tuesday, and then we faced Wemby and the Spurs on Thursday. So that'll be a fun game on Tuesday. I like what the Hornets got going on. Well, fun, young team. It'll be interesting to see how the Heat play against them. But then, until then, I'll see you after that game. Let's go Heat.